The sky above Lornus Prime burned crimson, not from its twin suns, but from the firestorms raining down upon its cities. The Tsurvok Dominion, a reptilian empire long known for its cruelty, had chosen its target carefully. Lornus was not a fortress world, not a bastion of military might, but a simple colony, an outpost of human families, scientists, and children. The attack was swift and merciless. Orbital strikes shattered continents, wiping away settlements like sparks extinguished by a storm. Their warlord, High Talon Vare, broadcast across the human channels as his fleet carved destruction below. "You fragile mammals," he hissed, his voice slithering with contempt. "Your reach exceeds your strength. Colonies, expansion? This galaxy belongs to the strong, not to dreamers who spread too thin. We will burn every seed you plant until Earth itself bows, or bleeds." The Dominion's soldiers reveled in the slaughter. Civilians attempting to flee were hunted like prey, their transports torn apart by predator drones. Vare himself ordered the execution of captured human envoys, streaming their deaths across galactic networks as a warning. The message was clear. Humanity was weak, naive, and unfit for the stars. The galaxy watched. Some feared for Earth. Others whispered that the Tsurvok had done what all had been too cautious to attempt: slap the Terran upstarts back into obscurity. Lornus Prime was reduced to ash. Its name, once spoken with hope, became a tombstone in the silence of space. The celebration of cruelty. The Dominion feasted on its triumph. Across their conquered sectors, festivals erupted. Vare's warriors draped human banners in blood and sang of broken colonies. To them, it was not merely a victory but a declaration that humanity's era of civilized restraint had ended before it began. In the halls of the Galactic Council, other empires chuckled behind closed doors. Humanity had always been a curiosity. Inventive, stubborn, but too careful. Earth's fleets were known, yes, but restrained, bound by treaties. "Bound by patience, humans bark," said one delegate. "But they do not bite," the Tsurvok boasted louder, demanding tribute from systems aligned with Earth. When ambassadors protested, Vare only sneered. "Let your Terran allies answer you if they dare. But they won't. They fear war. They fear loss. And we—" He spread his talons, dripping in the blood of innocence. "We do not fear them at all." The galaxy believed him. Humanity's silence stretched on. Days turned into weeks. Survivors of Lornus Prime begged Earth for justice, but the stars remained quiet. The Dominion mocked them further, saying Earth mourned in silence because it could do nothing else. And in that arrogance, they failed to notice the change, the breaking of silence. The silence broke, not with words, but with shadows. In the void beyond Sul, the ancient docks stirred. Facilities long forgotten, massive shipyards hidden in asteroid belts and hollowed moons, roared back to life. Crews awakened old reactors, their hearts burning brighter than the suns themselves. Out of rust and legend, shapes began to rise. The forgotten fleets. Once, humanity had forged them during the first age of expansion. Armadas vast enough to defend Earth from the unknown. When peace treaties bound the younger species, these fleets were mothballed, sealed away, and left to gather dust. They became myths, whispered among cadets, doubted by allies, and dismissed by enemies. But myths have teeth when rage calls them. Silent transmissions rippled through human space. Former admirals, retired commanders, and even descendants of the old war architects answered the summons. Workers volunteered by the millions. Entire colonies stopped trade to ship resources back to Sol. The effort was colossal, unseen in scale, yet conducted without a single broadcast. No threats. No boasts. Just silence. Then, on the 50th day after Lornus burned, the first fleet emerged from Titan's shadow. Dreadnoughts, black, massive, and bristling with weapons long thought obsolete but upgraded with terrifying precision, lit the void. The stars themselves seemed to dim in their presence. Humanity's silence had ended, and the galaxy shuddered. The coming of wrath it began not with a battle, but with a whisper across the networks, a single message from Earth, carried on encrypted channels that no empire could block. "We warned you. You took our silence for weakness. You mistook patience for fear. Now, learn what our rage has built." Then came the fleets. From the Oort cloud, from Mars, from the hidden shipyards of Vega and the forgotten bastions near Proxima, they emerged. Black hulls etched with ancient names: Vigilant, Iron Requiem, Dawnless, Ashbringer. Thousands of ships, old yet reforged, new yet carrying the wrath of generations. The galaxy froze. Even the Council debated whether such fleets had truly existed. But there they were, real, massive and burning for war. The Dominion laughed at first. Vare declared them relics, fragile bones dressed in steel. He ordered his armadas to meet the Terran fleets in open space, confident his modern warships would tear them apart. But as the battles began, the laughter ended, the storm unleashed. The first strike came at Ulrus, a Dominion stronghold. Terran fleets emerged from hyperspace like a tidal wave, black silhouettes blotting out the system's suns. Before the Tsurvok ships could even deploy, the humans fired. Beams of white-hot fury, mass drivers flinging tungsten rods at fractions of light speed, kinetic lances that ripped through shields and hulls alike. Dominion vessels shattered like glass. Whole flotillas were vaporized in seconds. Human dreadnoughts advanced without hesitation, their engines roaring like God's thunder. Each salvo was precise, merciless, and overwhelming. Dominion commanders screamed for reinforcements, only to watch those reinforcements arrive, then die within minutes. And always, the Terran fleets advanced in silence. No taunts, no arrogance, just grim, unrelenting fire. The storm spread. Human fleets struck not just military targets, but shipyards, fuel depots, command stations. One by one, the Dominion's arteries were cut. Worlds that once feared Vare's claws watched in awe as the humans descended like storms, crushing fortresses that had stood for centuries. Vare raged, swearing vengeance. But as system after system fell, his roars became whispers. His fleets, once proud, scattered like insects before the fire. The day the suns went dark, the climax came at Draknor, the Dominion's capital system. The humans arrived not with one fleet, but with all of them. Forgotten fleets converged from every vector. Dreadnoughts, carriers, swarms of escort destroyers, even planetary bombardment platforms once considered too brutal to ever use. The sky above Draknor darkened as Terran ships blotted out its twin suns. The capital's defenses fired desperately, a billion weapons lashing out, but the human wall of steel did not break. They advanced through fire, through plasma storms, through waves of enemy fighters, and then the bombardment began. It was not a battle, it was annihilation. Planetary shields crumpled under the weight of tungsten storms. Orbital stations fell like burning meteors. The capital fleet, pride of the Dominion, was erased in hours. Vare's flagship, the Scourge of Dawn, was torn in half by the Terran dreadnought Ashbringer. Its wreckage left adrift as a monument. When the bombardment ended, Draknor itself was scarred. Continents cracked, oceans boiled. The Dominion's throne world lay broken, its rulers ash and echoes. The galaxy watched in horrified silence. The Tsurvok Dominion, once feared as unbreakable, had been shattered in a single campaign. The aftermath. Whispers in the dark, when the fleets withdrew, they did not celebrate. Humanity did not linger to gloat or carve monuments. They simply left behind ruin, silence, and the certainty of vengeance fulfilled. Survivors whispered in dread. Merchants carried rumors across systems, of human ships that darkened suns, of bombardments that turned fortresses into dust, of fleets so ancient and vast that no empire could hope to match them. The phrase spread in hushed tones, "Never provoke Earth again," for the galaxy learned a truth it had long forgotten. Humanity's patience is immense, their silence long. But when that patience ends, when their rage awakens, there is nothing in the stars that can withstand it. The forgotten fleets had risen, and with them, the lesson burned into every world. Earth's vengeance sleeps, but it never dies, and so, in the echo of annihilation, the galaxy swore never to test the rage of humanity again.